Welcome back, crew, to beautiful Haulover Inlet and Boats versus Haulover, where man and machine take on Mother Nature down here in Miami, Florida. As you can tell, as this Freeman works its way in, it's gonna be a little bit of a rough day. Let's see how our captains fare. And this is going to bring us to the first round of our competition. And here in the first round, we're going to have the boats featuring an Edgewater trying to work its way out the inlet. But let's go, round one, ring the bell, get it started. And our crew is working their way out. Again, a rough haulover, and we've got some bow riders gonna try and weather it out as Captain makes his way out. Now, our girl in the front, you can see her bouncing around, but overall, they still seem to be okay. She's hanging on, and even though I don't recommend this, the attempt's not going that bad. Nobody's getting rocked around. Nobody's on the deck. The problem I see here is this girl's not wearing a life jacket. The little girl in the bow, I can't believe she's up there without a life jacket on. Unfortunately, we only have a few rules in this one, and kids in the bow with no life jacket coming out of haulover takes an L every time, and by default, this crew takes the loss. And that will give haulover the 1-0 edge as we move into the second round of our contest. And here in the second round, the boats are going to toss a Galeon in the ring to see if they can go ahead and get on the board. And this is a big boat, but haulover's firing a little bit today. As you can see the spray coming off the bow. Let's see how this crew does, because they've upped the game just a little bit by adding some bow riders into this one as well. Typically not something I recommend, especially compared to many other boats. There's no real bow seating here. Sure, they're laying on a pad, but there's no protection. If something goes wrong, they're sliding off the boat. And as you can tell, the windshield's wet, everything's soaked, which is gonna make it a whole lot more slick up there, but they wind up rolling over, hanging on as they make their way out, and overall the boat winds up forcing its way out of the inlet, and reluctantly I'm gonna give them the win here in this round, which will take us into the third round of our contest, now tied at 1 apiece. And here in the third round, the boats are gonna toss a Yamaha Waverunner in the ring to see how they handle a rough haulover inlet, and the reality is, like you can see here, it didn't go well. We kind of missed them going out, but our guy wound up falling off, and worse of all, the ski still appears to be running. In other words, he wasn't wearing the kill switch lanyard, so all of a sudden his ski is over there, still powered on. So our crew here has spotted the guy underneath the bridge and is gonna come along and try and rescue him. This is a tough situation. There is a very heavy current right here. Now, the boat itself is doing what it should. In a heavy current, it's going against the current. But the reality is, in a rescue situation, that's going to make this tough. Unless he can get right alongside the boat. They toss a line and let the line go behind him. But the problem is, that means this guy is being pulled into the current by the boat. So he's got a current running alongside him, making it exceptionally difficult for him to hold on. The best case in this scenario, as long as he's wearing a life jacket, they should have had him let go and let the current pull him to the boat, where he could either grab the boat or let it pull him under the bridge like it's doing here and pick him up on the other side when he can swim out of the current, as the current really is just running in this channel right here. If he can swim to the right just a little bit once he clears the bridge, the current will start to calm down just a little bit. But you can see here, current's dragging him. It's dragged the ski as well, as we just saw in the top corner, and it's coming out from under the bridge also. And the boat's coming around for another pass to try and rescue the gentleman. And this time they've got the right course of action. They've let the current pull him to the boat to where they can grab him with the boat, and at that point in time they can put it in neutral. Let the boat drift with the current and the person in the water. At least then they're not dragging him, forcing him to have to strain to hold on. And over here we can see somebody's jumped off from Haulover Park and is grabbing the ski. I have no clue if he knows this guy or not, or it's just a good Samaritan who saw this happening and said, let me jump in and see if I can help. But now here, as long as you're in neutral, the boat should roll with the victim, meaning that you're not going to have extra strain on him as you're trying to rescue him. Really good job by this crew, because they put him on the right side of the boat as well. In other words, you don't want the current pushing him into the boat. You want the boat to try and block some of that current to help you get them on board, which is exactly what winds up happening. Unfortunately for this guy though, he's going to wind up taking a loss in this round, and that's going to give Haulover the 2-1 edge as we move into the 4th round of our contest. And here in the 4th round, the boats are going to toss a Scarab in the ring to try and see if they can get it tied back up, and here we go. Our crew is working their way out. I believe this is a Scarab 38. Not 100% sure. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments, but my man leans into the throttles, starts to get the boat up on plane, and that's what a boat like this wants to do. It really wants to get on top of the water and ride on top of these waves and just let it eat if he can do so. Overall, they look okay. They're pushing past the rollers and look like they're going to wind up making it out. This one does kind of have a shallow bow. I feel like it goes down. You've got to get it up on plane and get it trimmed right, especially in rough seas, but they wind up making it out, taking a win for the boats. And that's going to bring us to a 2-2 tie as we move into the 5th round. And here in the 5th round, the boats are going to toss a Seaving in the ring to try and close it out. Let's go. Let's see if the boats can pull off the wind. This is going to be a close one. This boat's coming out a little slow. I'd like to see it trimmed up a little more and a little more power behind it to try and get that bow a little higher. But let's see if they're going to wind up making it out or if they're going to wind up stuffing it. And it's pretty close. Right there was a really close call as they keep plopping down on these waves, but Cap's keeping it up, working his way out, and it looks like they're going to squeak out, take a win for the boats, and the boats will take the win in this episode. Thanks for watching, crew. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Boats vs. Haulover. If you did, please check out our other content. We have Wavy Boats, who does a bunch of great things down at the inlets. My channel, Broncos Guru, do some great comedy boating videos there as well. And of course, we've got Miami Boat Ramps that features all the hilarity that happens at the boat ramps in South Florida. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.